Let's just hope this is probably the last time we're gonna fix any fuel issue until a very long time. Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. It's about 7 o'clock, bright and early. Just got my boys ready to go to school. First thing in the morning, just noticed that the car didn't want to start, so I figured I'd just check the fuel pump again, and that tube that you guys seen on the last video or the other video, that it only has that one tab that is holding it. It got loose. I ended up just doing zip ties. I think it will be fully secure. If it does come out, then eventually we're gonna have to buy either that piece or just buy a whole fuel pump assembly. Hopefully not though. But anyways though, we got some couple things that we need to get going on this car. First one is the power steering. So we need to figure out why the power steering fluid is leaking out through here. Yesterday I did take the nut, take the lines off, and inspect the O-rings that is in there, and they look perfectly fine. And then did a comparison on my EVO just to make sure if I'm not missing anything. And yeah, everything looks good. But usually on the startup it will start leaking, so I'm gonna go ahead and just run the car and see if it does. But we definitely need to put some power steering fluid. But that's a good sign, no leaks. That checked out one of our lists. So the next one I wanted to do is that I wanted to go ahead and remove the exhaust manifold and remove the lower studs. I did mention about how this area smokes, and I feel confident that it has to do with the exhaust studs. Car has a oil galley on the lower studs on the exhaust manifold. If you don't put liquid seal on the studs, then oil goes through to the studs and then continually, you know, leaks out and then burns it off from the exhaust manifold. So that's what we're gonna do. Also, I do have a radiator fan that I want to go throw on and put them on top on the radiator. I got this used and they cut out the plugs, but I want to kind of get that situated. This thing is a little dirty, so I might just ending up cleaning it and just painting it as well too. I'm gonna go ahead and just put the upper and radiator hose. The one that I put on last video, it's cracked, so I'm gonna switch that out and put these better condition on top on the car, or we end up doing a safety check. Oh, another one. So I noticed that here in this line, I think this runs onto the power steering reservoir, and what I did when I looked at my EVO, it wasn't routed this way. It was this part over here was routed in here, that comes up here on the side and plugs in. Time I had a issue with when I tried to put my bumper on and I had that screener on the lower grill, it was hitting this. So we need to reroute this line back to the way it needs to. So it looks like we need to remove the whole intercooler, crossbar, anything that has to do to kind of get everything out of the way, and then just reroute that back into location. I try to figure out what else that we need to do on this car before Friday, and I just feel like I kind of missed a lot of stuff, or kind of like miss everything that I looked over on the car. Let's work on the exhaust manifold and then let's kind of go down the list from there. So we got the manifold off, and one thing I did notice is that when I removed the heat shield, the studs here on the turbo side is broken. So hopefully if I can vice grip it and take it out, hopefully it's possible. I do have an extra one, so we should be good. And all the nuts that I loosened on the manifold was loose, and it doesn't seem like, oh, you see oil right there. This thing is a little crusty. So we're gonna go ahead and remove all the lower studs. We're gonna put the two nuts on top here, on this side and one on this side. Tighten it together, pull the studs out. Okay, we got all the studs out, and doesn't seem like it had like a liquid seal on top, or maybe it just came off after I took it off from the cylinder head. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I meant about oil galley. You can see inside the part right through. Hard to tell on the camera. I'll try my best to show you guys. You can see the opening right there. There's an open right here. So that's the reason why that we need to put a liquid seal on top of the stud, so that way oil doesn't get passed through the stud and gets into the exhaust manifold and start burning it off. So before we go ahead and put these on, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the studs, clean the surface around the area where the gasket sits, and no auto parts store carries these in stock, so I might just run down and get some copper spray. Actually, I might have copper spray. Here we go. Clean the gasket up. Apply some copper spray on top here so it properly seal. And before I wanted to go ahead and throw these manifold on, I really want to get this thing painted. I'm not too sure if I do have some high temp paint. I do have some extra wrinkle black. Might not be enough though, but it is. I'm just gonna use it anyways. Alright guys, we got the studs back into the cylinder head, and I had an extra old stud and a JDC stud. Replaced the broken one here and the one that I was missing here. So we do have a 14mm bolt, which is right here. And I just remembered that when I was removing the nuts off from the exhaust manifold, it didn't come with a washer. So thankfully I do have extra. I might be short on, I say maybe one. Yeah, I'm short on two washer nuts though, but I think we should be okay. So in the future, I know down the road that we're gonna go ahead and replace it later on with JDC hardwares, but that's not until later. I wanted to kind of get this out of the way, kind of do a little refresh here. We still got to clean that gasket. I want to go ahead and start cleaning the exhaust manifold, the fan shrouds here. I know this is kind of pretty beat up here, little, you know, the rust is kind of big, but this is all I have, and I just want to kind of make it nice and decent. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the fan, sand it down, wash it, and then we can start painting. After a couple of years, this is how it turns out. Looks really nice. Rust-Oleum paint does this wonder. I know it doesn't look the best condition. You can still see like the roughness over here, but it's okay. We're not going to be running this for a long time until I guess we find a good replacement one or an aftermarket. But I'm very happy how it came out. Using the wrinkle paint, I'm not really for it of seeing how it turns out. Honestly, didn't really care if it doesn't come out wrinkle or the way how it should. But I only had a little bit inside the can, and I think it's gonna look good. I can't really see much because the heat shield is gonna be sitting over it. Like I said, I'm very happy how it's gonna turn out. I think it looks way better than it will look once we slap everything back on the car. All right, so moving on to the next project, that we need to reroute these lines back into its position. So it kind of looks like what we have to do, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Remove the brace, intercooler. I think we're gonna have to remove the condenser fan because it looks like it kind of runs underneath from it, and then disconnect the hoses from the reservoir, and then we should reroute everything from there. Got the power steering hard lines back the way it should. Routed all around from the inside, coming right up, and now it's connected. Power steering reservoir, it's kind of beat up. Just rerouted the ADC line. If you guys haven't followed the channel, when we picked up the car, you know, 8 years ago when my friend used to own this car, he got to an accident. The whole front end was destroyed, and there is a new radiator support that is on, but it's off. This is how the AC line is all damaged due to the accident. But I got it where it needed to be bolted up underneath the support. I know it doesn't look as perfect as it is, but it is what it is, and this is what we're gonna run. I feel like we're in a good progress of everything that's going on. Everything looks good. We got the studs out of the way. Now the power steering hard lines is out of the way. And what else? Painted the fan shrouds, heat shield, and the exhaust manifold. That is looking very nice. The wrinkle looks way better than how it looks on my valve cover. Sick. Super excited to put these back on the car. I know that the car is getting a little messy, but then it's okay because we're putting everything back the way it is. We are correcting everything that has been done to the car. I noticed here on the coolant line on the turbo to the hard lines here was not properly connected, and I noticed that this hard line is pushed towards to the block when it should be pushed more back a little bit and down, and slide this hose back in. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and knock this out and then reinstall everything that we remove off from the car, put it back in. Hopefully that these parts are gonna be dry by the time we're done, and then we can move on to the next project. Alright guys, so this is where we basically at. We just throw in the exhaust manifold, the heat shield. We did top off the power steering fluid. I only had a little bit of fluid, but that's okay. And also got the radiators and the fan shrouds back on top. Here is the module. I didn't have time to go run down and get terminal connectors, or maybe I'm gonna head down and later, or maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna head down tomorrow to see if maybe Napa or any store that has maybe a universal plug that goes into this fan module. Other than that though, everything looks good. Everything kind of lines up. You might notice that here on the bracket on the charge pipe doesn't line up here, but you know, we're gonna fix the whole radiator support and the whole front end to get everything all aligned. That way we can actually see where everything goes. But other than that, I'm very excited where the car is coming. Everything else is kind of looking good, so I'm pumped. I'm super excited, guys. Can't wait to finish this car so at least we can get it driving. So we're gonna go ahead and end the video. I'm on my way to go to work, and yeah, let me know what you guys thinking about the whole process of the car, guys. Leave on the comment section below. I just want to let you know that we're at 540 subscribers. That is super insane. In about a month, I'm gonna make 1 year of doing YouTube video and, you know, YouTube vlogs. So the goal is I want to try at least hit to 600 subscribers. I'm super pumped with everything else is going. We are definitely so close to getting this car at least 100 though, to where it's at though. So I'm very happy about that. I'm gonna go ahead and head to workout, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Hit the like, subscribe. Aloha guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.